Okay, well, at least I put it out there. We'll see what happens in this. See if we can make a way. Okay, all right. If we was thinking about a title here, we're going to think about emotional clarity, right? A lot of times we're in our emotions, right? So we want clarity in that, you know. So I came across a young lady. She mentioned these three things, but I had been talking about these things, and I know Yehoshua could be, verified that, and as well as others. I always talk about this. And so I used that and then developed what I'd heard again, thinking that this would be the spot that I needed to be in, right? So I'm thinking about spiritual maturity when I'm thinking about these things. The emotions that we have, sometimes they are controlled by, of course, what you believe, what you may fear, or what's the things around you, right? So, but we want emotional clarity because it'll help you. And a lot of times I think I said and was telling you as well is what we would follow through in is what the situation is in our lives can have us to go up and down, right? And so I want some stability in my walk with the Father. And then I want stability with one another. So those things are very, very important, right? So in my life, it wasn't bringing shalom, right? Because in the position that I am in, then this would happen, and I'm sure that it would happen to you as well, right? Some of the things that we are talking about, and if somehow you are in this, then you would understand, right? You would end this, then you would understand in that. All right. And so we had talked about even healthy. We're thinking about health, right? A lot of us, right, we're going to the doctors. We had those appointments. We're not feeling well, but we need to be healthy, right? We need to be healthy. So we need some boundaries in this, right? We need some boundaries. So we're going to think about that. And that will be our expectations. Our expectations is to be normal in our emotions. Our emotions are there. The Father gave us the emotions that we have. And different things can cause you to get in there. But many people say, oh, control your emotions. Okay, well, how do you do that, though? A lot of times we get what we should be doing, but a lot of times nobody tells you on how to do that, at least how to work on it, right? Because all of us will be a little different in that. So there are moments when we must stop trying to make things work. When we're dealing with, now what I'm dealing with people. Okay? I'm dealing with people because, you want to, in this, you just don't want to disregard everyone. But it comes a time when we stop trying. There come that time when you stop trying to make it work. And so we must be a person that discerns what is true when you're dealing with somebody, right? And it's very, very important. You can't make it work. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not just saying this because Dr. So-and-so said, I'm saying you can't make it work. You can't. So it comes a time now you go in there and try it, but when you're dealing with other people, it just comes that time. Right? So when we are spiritually mature, accepting hard truths, things that are hard when you're dealing with people, because you never want to let a person go, right? So sometimes we have to deal with that. The truth is there, but sometimes that truth is hard to let go, right? It's hard to let them go. But that's the only way that we're going to walk in shalom, right? So when people strive to alienate you, then we know that we must hold on to truth and we must hold on to Yah direction over our desire. We have a desire to make it work, but when we look at our scriptures, we find out that, hey, that's not going to work. Right? That's not going to work. Whoever that person is, and you can fill in those blanks where it's needed. Right? We need to understand that. All right, Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 7. The beginning of wisdom is.
Beginning of wisdom is. All right, okay.
Get wisdom, and with all you're getting, get understanding.
Okay, now, we have to get some understanding on the people that we are dealing with, the person that we're dealing with, the wife that we're dealing with, husband, the cousin, all of those things. When I'm saying people today, I'm including all of those, okay? And then you can fill in those blanks as we begin to walk. So I am using this, that the wisdom that we have, because sometimes when we're growing up, we don't have that understanding of what's going on. But the wisdom that we have is very, very important. All right? We must have the wisdom, right? The wisdom. And so we have to get an understanding, not just some people automatically, which is true, you're going to get that understanding in our scriptures, but you have to get an understanding with one another. In order to have a relationship, you have to have an understanding. If you don't have an understanding, then you won't have a relationship. And too many times in my own life, it's one-sided. One-sided. So sometimes when it's like that, it brings about no shalom sometimes. Because I was still trying to make it work. I'm going to make you work. I can't do that. But it took me a minute to understand that. But I'm supposed to reach out. The Father reaches out to us. He don't never let us go, And all of those things. And all of those things are in your head until you begin to work out the truth. The hard truth. You have to have hard truth in this. And so it's very, very important. Now, I realized this. And like I said, these points here, they were just three of them, but they kind of jumped out. And I just kind of kept that. And then I modified what I need to. Right? If they want to, right? This is where I'm at. If they want to, they would. Too many people say a lot of things, but if they want to, they would. Period. I have found that out. Because sometimes I'm on a roller coaster. Well, they say they would. They say they want to. Well, I think they do. You'll go up and down on that, right? This is what I want you to understand here. And we must get this. People make time, and you remember what I identified as what that people is. They make time, they make efforts, and even, watch this, sacrifices for what they value. Right? So I use it for a husband and wife. If the wife values you, then she's going to have the time, she's going to have the effort, and she will have a sacrifice for you because you are valuable to her. Right? Now, let's take it out there, the same thing with whatever assembly, wherever you might be. When you're dealing with one another, right, you're going to make sure that if they spend that time and if they do all of that, then they value you. You just the afterthought. You're not. They're not valuing you, right? Because if they say they would, then they would. Anything that you want to do, guess what? You do it. I guarantee you that what you want to do, you'll do it, right? Because a lot of times it goes off in my head. Oh, what did I do? Did I say the wrong thing? Did I didn't text right? What did I do? Right? If they don't want to communicate with you, guess what? They telling you. Right? Many times they telling you that, right? So if people or someone repeatedly fails to show up, repeatedly now, listen to me, right? To show up to give you support or speak life into you, right? So this is the people that we want around us, right? But if they continue to do that, it is not, listen, they continue to do that. It is not by accident. Right? We are people, and I want you to get to a people, doesn't matter what you say. I go by what your actions. Now, they have a thing where your actions speak louder than your words. Right? Your actions is you, though. Not your words. Your actions is you. And they speak. The words that you receive, you get, but it's the action that you do is you. It can't be no different. That's how you identify. Because we have elaborate words. We can say the right words. We can say the right thing, the right theology move, the right whatever at the same time. We can say those things. Right? But when somebody compete, you don't have to get about it. And they'll tell me, I want to support you. I want to, oh, okay, I'm psyched up. Right? You know, then something happened. Then something else happened. Oh, I'm with you. You say you're with me, but your language says differently. Your body language. The things that you do says differently. But I'm with you. Are you? I'm with you. Are you with me? And so a long time I would just, okay, I thought they was with me. Right? But it's not by accident. Because whatever you value, then you'll do. If you value me, then you will support me. Right? You'll see that. And when I say just me, I'm just talking about put it in your corner. I'm just doing, happen to do the teaching, not necessarily have to be me. Right? Okay? You do not have to guess, right, what their intent is. I used to try to guess, well, maybe they, whatever. You don't have to guess it any longer. Right? You don't have to guess this any longer. Their actions just reveal to you who they are. Not what they said. I want to get that straight. Right? Their actions. I'm telling you, I've been through this year after year, 10, 30 years, 40 years. Listen, their actions telling you. Right? If they say something, then they'll follow through. But their actions are telling you what their actions is. They are telling you. You don't have to guess at it any longer. At least I don't. Because I'm telling you, this here that never fails is there. You don't have to guess at it. Their actions will reveal them for what you do. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. If you didn't mean to do it, you wouldn't have done it. You did mean to do it. Right? Because you wouldn't done that to something that you value. You wouldn't have done it. You didn't value that. That's the reason you are guilty. Whatever that is. Right? You're guilty in that. So, people often make excuses. Now, this is one time that you will fall in if you're talking to, say, another brother, another sister, whatever. Sometimes people make excuses for others' absence. Oh, they could have. Oh, well, you know. Right? Huh? They volunteer themselves. They volunteer. But what happens is they attach to the person, right? And then when that person is not consistent in what they're doing, then they have a friend to back them up. Now, what you do is you dependent and you causing the confusion by cuddling them, right? Cuddle, should I say cuddle them, right? That's, that too, all right? All of that, right? Bring it close to them. When you make excuses, then you're not making it any better, right? You're not making those things better when you make excuses for them. It is what it is, right? It is what it is. Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. It is what it is. So what it calls you to do, though, is your love will be inconsistent. You know, somebody told me, oh, you my moray. Oh, you my elder. You this. And I'm saying, okay. They even hug and tell me, oh, I love you. But your actions is not lining up what you just said. You said that I was your teacher. It's not lining up. That's not lining up. You say that you love me, that's not lining up. Whether it be husband, wife, or whoever. You fill in the blank, right? It's not lining up. All right,
Matthew chapter 6, verse 21. For where your treasure is, there your heart shall be
now,
also.
if I treasure you, then my heart will be with you. That's what I value. If I treasure you, right? And many times I know we use this as the things of the Father, but I can't skip over you and go to the things of the Father. I have to deal with you first. So if you are a treasure to me, are your children a treasure? Is your wife a treasure? Is your husband a treasure? Is your brothers a treasure to you? What is your treasure? And it must be in your heart, right? 1 John chapter 3, verse 18.
First John chapter 3, verse 18. My little children, let us not love in word.
Now, let us not. So I didn't come up with this. Don't just love in words. Words, you can fix that up. And sometimes you got poets and you can write those. Don't love it just in the words that you say. Okay?
Or in tongue, but in deed and in truth.
Now, indeed, that means you're doing something. So the scriptures are guiding me to no matter what you tell me is what you show me is what it is. Now, I would get confused at one time because this person said they love me. This person said, and I'm just using my position or whatever. You can use yours. This person said, I'm their way. This person said this. This person said that. But their actions are different from what they saying. Right? Because am I a treasure to you? Are you a treasure to me? Right? You have to be a treasure to me because if not, then you'll be missing out. And I don't want you to miss out. Right? I don't want you to miss out. So it's indeed. So if somebody said, where the scripture? It's indeed. Right? It's what you do, not what you say. It's what you do. Right? It's what you do. That's the reason your children are taken care of because you said you love them. So if you love them, you don't feed them. You don't change that. You don't give them nowhere to stay. You don't, So all of those things, if you do that, if you won't feed them and clothe them and all that, what they call that? Child abuse. So what we do is we abuse one another. Neglect. Okay, we'll use that. Listen, we neglect one another. Yes, we do. We neglect one another. So it's not like you don't know what the picture is. The picture is there. I mean, not two, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. Even in the assembly that's not here, they done said the same thing, and I have witnessed to even say that to those that said the same thing. And where you at now, right? Where you at now? Right? The same thing. So somewhere along the line, the proof has to be in that. You know, if you really care. You know, what you value now is going to be important in that. So, Yahweh, and I'll put this in the thing, Yahweh, he focuses, or we should focus, on love and loyalty, right? We have to be that way, right? Never. So we have to make sure that we shouldn't just focus on that with someone else, right? But even with ourselves. If someone is absent, listen, if someone is silent in your life, even though whatever they say, okay, if they inconsistent in what they're doing again, it's obvious. So my thing is I would never change because they was inconsistent in what they're doing, and I thought there was always hope. But there's no hope. There's no hope there. And so what I need to do is I needed to stop explaining it away. It is what it is. I can't change that. I can be hopeful, but in relationships, I could never change that. Accept the reality. And this is what I had to do, accept the reality, and then I had to walk forward in the truth. The truth is what they say didn't line up what their actions was. And so I'm walking in hard truth by saying this. That's your ability, that's what you believe, and that's what we'll do. Right? So stop trying to convince someone to care for you. You can't make nobody care for you. I done tried it. You know, if I did the right thing, say the right thing, do the right things, maybe if I helped them this or whatever, that person has to choose to care for you. And their treasure chest, if you allow me to say, you have to be in their treasure chest, right? In their treasure chest. You have to be there. If you're not in there, you can't make that. You can't explain that away. I'm telling you. And you can't make nobody care for you. Right? You can't do that. Husband, wife, or whatever, however you want to do it. You can't do it. They have to choose to do it. They have to choose to do that. And let their fruits be their actions. Let their fruits be their action. Let their fruits be the action. Because it speaks louder than their words. This is not bitterness here, what I'm saying. I know I'm putting emphasis on it, but I'm not bitter because I want to come against that spirit that does that. Because it constantly does that, right? So it's not bitterness, but it's clarity. So accept it, and that's the way it is. And let it go. Let them go. It's hard to let them go, but let them go. Right? You got to let them go. It's very important. Messiah, okay, the Messiah. You say, well, how you know this? I didn't read that in my psychology book. The Messiah did not, right? Right? Go to John 6 and verse 66. The Messiah didn't chase. And that's where I failed at because I thought, you had to be there for everybody. He didn't chase those that walked away from him. Not one time did he say, run them down, hunt them down, go get them. And we know a lot of instances like that because you don't leave nothing that you treasure. Right? You say, well, how long that you and Mama G was together that long? Because I treasure her. Well, she must have really treated him right. I treasured her. Well, she must have done all the right thing. No, I treasured her. And vice versa. It ain't about how many things you got right in this pile and how many things you didn't got right in that pile. If that person does not treasure you, you can forget it. So if you're married, you come home, there's no meal, you know why? They ain't treasuring you. Because they're concerned about it. Many times when Mama G was working, I called, I said, well, what you going to eat? Did you want me to cook you something on the way? Or how you want me to stop by and get something? So we communicated. Why? Because I cared. I valued her to make sure that she would get something to eat. Or make sure she would do those things. Those things that you have to do. When you care for something, you won't do it. Some folk care about their car more than they care about their brother or their sister. They care about those things, right? So it's very, very important. All of those things are important. They'll wash and wax, and boy, that car, ooh, it's looking good. Vacuum it out and everything else to get the seats leathered down, and right? And then tell the children, you bothering me, right? Do you value your children? So what is it that we are doing here? Okay.
John chapter 6, verse 66. From then on, many of his taught ones withdrew.
Now, from then on, now I done read this a lot of times, but when I was dealing with this over the years, sometimes it just seemed like it didn't click all at once, right? But it says that his Talmudim, the ones that taught, they withdrew. See, there'll be people in your life that will withdraw from you. It's okay. Because they won't value you, right? You don't have to chase after them. You don't have to do all those things. Let me call. I call. Let me send a text. I send a text. Let me do this. Let me do that. And then one day I say, how many times did they text me? How many times did they call me? How many times did they come by my house? They'll say, he ain't come by and see me. How many times you come on my house? Then I say, I'm coming to see you. All right? And that's, you understand what I'm saying? All of those things are there. So wait a minute. What is this? Is it a one-sided relationship? Right? In that. Okay. All right. Uh-huh.
And we're not walking with him anymore.
Now, what they said, they wasn't walking with him anymore. So when people leave, don't worry about it. They withdrew themselves. And they decided not to walk with us, and then as an individual, as you as well. There's nothing you can do about that. Right? If Yeshua was the same way, so you more higher than what our Mashiach is then. You a lot better than that. Right? So you can't, if they walk away, you can't run them down. You can't make it. I done did it. You don't like this calendar. I'm trying to go this calendar. You don't do it this way. Well, the painting over here, the wall there, all of that, And every time you make a move, it doesn't matter because they don't value you. It's just what they want. It's what they want. Instead of trying to get with you and bring about a unity, it's just what they want. Right? It's just what they want. And so you try to do that because that's the thing to do. That's the thing to do. Right? But no matter what you do, if they withdraw themselves, let them go. I would hang on. And I know they say, oh, here you go again. Oh, he bothered me again. I would just hang on. And what I need to do is just let you go. Just let you go. Right? Those are the things. Okay,
Yeshua therefore said to the 12.
Now, those that really value you and care and treasure you, that's who you ask this to, right? And so if you value the things of the assembly, that's where you're in these seats. You in this because you value. If you don't, you wouldn't be here, right?
Do you also wish to go away?
Now he said, do you want to go away too? He said they left, and there's a certain amount of thought process there. What are you trying to do? So you mean to tell me that Yeshua didn't treat them right? Yeshua didn't love on them? So why did they leave? Some people say, oh, they leaving over there because of this. So why did they leave? That was the best example. Why I'm going to leave? You're going to leave the healer? You're going to leave someone can talk to the Father. You know his prayers be answered. You being say, oh, hope more can get through. But you know, we just talked about demons being casted out. You know that. So you left that. Sometimes we think, oh, if I had this, or if I seen this, or if he was a man of Elohim, then if you see all of that, they still will leave you no matter what you've done for them. You cook for them, you take care of them, you clothe them, you do all the things that you need to do, and they will still leave. They will still leave. And so do not, right, put the guilt trip on yourself. They chose to leave because they wasn't valued. You didn't value them, right? Now, I'm not saying this don't think it's in a negative or bitter way, right? I'm trying to put emphasis on different things, right? It's not a bitter way, because if it's like that, because I've been the one that do it, if there's no more value in the place that I'm at, then I need to leave, right? Because if not, I'm going to hurt it. I'm going to bring about division, And so that's what the conditions is. A husband and wife, are they together is very, very difficult situation if there's no more value there, right? So when we putting this in a walk-in situation, do not chase, just observe. All right, you don't have to chase nobody. Just observe what they're doing. So examine who truly. I want you to think about this week. Examine who truly shows up in your life. Who is it that really shows up in your life? Right? Examine those things. Now, this is a good one. Build with those who choose to build with you. If this project is one-sided, it's not going to work. I didn't try to win over the one-sided situation. Doesn't work. Now, you may get, it's not like 100%. You may get a percentage, 1% out of 100. But if they're not building with you, don't worry about it. No matter how hard you try. You know if somebody's building with you or something. Don't elevate nobody in your life that is not building with you. Sometimes we do elevate the wrong person. Now, if you elevate them and they change, you can't do nothing about that. But watch the change, right? But most times, somebody's building with you, they just don't change overnight for no reason. There had to be a reason why, right? And if they value you, then they'll discuss it with you. And this is one thing that this is one thing that really set me free. Do not. They say, I know y'all say Moray must have been. Do not beg for their attention. I figured that there was things in my life, I figured if they give me attention, then I got to do, don't beg for it. If somebody value, you don't have to beg for it. You don't have to say, they can greet you, whatever they greet you. They will find you and greet you when you're valuable to them. Right? You understand what I'm saying? I'm just using that. It could be many things. So we must discern who's in the real covenant level of connection. So that's some of the things that we are seeking after, right? In that. So if they want to, they would. So other words, if somebody wanted to do something for you or be with you or whatever that is, they will do it. If you want to work at that job, guess what? You will do it. If you want to buy that dress, you will do it. Those pants, you will do it. You will do it. If you want to do it, you will do it. If you don't, you won't do it. What is the value? And here's one that really sets me free. It's only been 30 minutes now. Here's one that really sets me free. No response is a response. Now that took me a while, right? Because I guess a heart would say, you try, but no response is telling you something. When you don't get response from nobody, they're telling you something, right? Silence, here's another one. Silence can also speak louder than words. So we're dealing with the action, but when they are silent, they don't want to talk to you, right? Whether it be in a delayed situation or a withdrawal. Some people withdraw. We were talking about that. They become silent in that, but they still speaking. So when people go silent with you, they telling you something. They are still speaking. You say, I ain't heard, they still speaking though. They don't want to talk to you. If they wanted to talk to you, they would talk to you. If they wanted to text you, they'll text you. If they wanted to do it, right? When it's for their benefit, they will do it. But they don't value you. It's okay. They won't value you, right? In that. So if they want to, they will. So waiting for someone else to say something often keeps us in unnecessary emotional baggage. They will clean down on you because your focus on why. And I'm not saying don't be concerned now. I'm talking about overly anxious of, right? That's what I'm talking about. So it will paralyze you because you can't move, right? You'll paralyze you when you haven't had those things. Why? Many times I ask Jordan, well, why so-and-so doing this? Why ain't her? Well, why don't they, And I know many times she say, just let them go. But it used to take me a while till I understand these things. Receive silence, receive it as the answer that it is. Don't try to work it out, right? If you're silent, you're silent. Other words, Obviously, you do not want to talk. Same thing with husband and wife. They go silent on that means they don't want to talk. Will they ever talk again? Well, maybe yes, but they don't want to talk right now. Silence. So they telling you without telling you. And I used to say, so you don't want to say nothing? No. If she wanted to say something, she would have said so. But I didn't click, because our emotions get into it. And we trying to work on our emotions. Our emotions get on it. If they silent, then they don't want to say nothing, then I need to go my way. Because when they want to say something, they will speak. Right? They will speak. So obviously you don't, for whatever reason. So you don't necessarily have to take that as some offense, some emotional move, according to its context. Right? According to its context. It's very important in that. All right? Let's see, where was that? People, do not wait for closure. Let Yah bring shalom and direction. Right? So sometimes if nobody say nothing to you, you ain't heard from them and all of that. Most time when they leave, but when they do all that, that's okay. Let them go. Right? Let them go. It's very important that we do that. And then Yah will bring the direction and stuff that we need. The Father always will do that. Okay, so we want to know how they're walking and how we're looking like. Release the need. Release the need for closure. So sometimes you want it closed, but you never get it closed. People have left and I never got a closure on it, but they left. I'll say, okay. But I always longered for that closer, that closing. But just like when they left Yeshua, they didn't give him a good reason why they left him. They didn't pull him to the side and say, look here, this is why I left. They just didn't walk with him no more. And y'all know in Hebrew, when you're talking about walk, they was walking with him. Right? And walking in Torah, by the way. In that. Okay, do not chase explanation. When people go silent, don't chase it. Leave it alone. When they go silent, let them go silent. That was the thing that really used to get me. I wanted to know that, okay, maybe even if I did it, I wanted to know I did it. But see, they want you to know, they want you to think that it was something that you did do. That's the reason they did it like that. Because that's how we train. That ain't nothing that you did, necessarily, in this context. And maybe it was something that I did do. Well, let me know. Then I know. But sometimes I wouldn't bring closure to a situation until then. Right? So let shalom be a guide when people refuse to communicate with you. Walk in your shalom, right? Walk in that. Okay, it's very important. What you want to do, you want to pray, of course. We do that often. Release. So this is what you want to do. Pray, release, right? And go forward with integrity. Hold your head up, right? They have a state thing, they use a thing there. Don't let nobody, if I'm getting it right, don't let nobody be in your mind rent free. Right? Okay? It's very, very important. Now, all of this is for a reason, of course. And then I thought about, not everybody, this is number 3, not everybody has the same values that you have. Not everybody have the same goal or the same heart that you have. Right? Not everybody has these things, right? And I drop this in Signal too, later also. So in that, right? Well, that which I have anyway. Not everyone is on the same spiritual wavelength that you are, right? And we get that all the time. Not everybody is there. Now, when I say the same goals, the same whatever, you have your personal goals or whatever. But when we're talking about the things of Yah, we're talking about Torah. That's what we're talking about. With the Mashiach. Right? That's what we're talking about. Just because you value loyalty, honesty, you do. Just because you value loyalty. Sometimes you read loyalty into a person and they don't have it. I'm reading honesty into the person and they don't have it, but I'm reading it into them. They don't have it because I think they should be like me. Everybody don't have to be like you, but they don't have it. If they have honesty, then you will have it. If they have loyalty, then you will have it. So, honesty, loyalty, and growing doesn't mean that they do, right? We often assume others will respond like we would respond, and that will punch me. I have a black eye every time I think about that. Ain't their fault, that's my fault. I was often thinking that they respond like that, but they won't, right? But that's not always true, okay? That's not always true. It could be true, but that's not always true. Recognize where I want to go. Boy, I lost it. But they are not always true. Recognize this frees you from expectations too much, I didn't put that down right. Expecting too much from the wrong people. Recognize this, it frees you from expecting too much from the wrong people, right? See, a lot of times your expectation, I was expecting something in someone, but they never had that in them. So my expectations was way up here when it should have been down here somewhere, right? Because their expectations wasn't up there. You know, some people say, well, I have high expectations for, yeah, but that person that you have a high expectation for have to have high expectations for themselves, right? And if they don't, then it's going to be confusion there, right? So make sure we know that. It is very, very important. Amos chapter 3, verse 3. So when you mismatch with someone, or mismatch with assembly, or mismatch with husband and wife, is one of the top causes for conflict in a relationship or in assembly. Right? It's the top cause for that. Somehow.
Amos chapter 3, verse 3. Would two walk together without having met?
Yeah. Can they do that? Right? So you have to have something in common of your heart. Well, I say in common. Some people don't like that word, say in common. But you ought to have some value with each other. Right? Some type of value. Not that you have to agree on every little single thing. But in order to walk. So they chose not to walk with the Messiah. Why? Because they didn't meet the same expectation. It was something in there. You know, they said the Messiah, that's okay until he talking about, which was a metaphor, talking about drink my blood, eat my, yeah. No, he ain't talking about no cannibalism, right? But that was the line for them. So sometimes people will walk with you and it's okay when they leave. It's okay when they leave. It's okay when they leave. Because they didn't hit a spot where you no longer either say something or you no longer value to them. You can't make, if they lose the value that you have in their life, you can't gain that back. They have to give it back to you. You know, that's when we have to forgive. If you can hold forgiveness, right, you can hold that and never forgive that person. You can hold it. No matter how much they try, you never forgave them. And you keep talking to them, they'll bring it up. Well, you remember what you did? I thought you forgave me for that. I thought you, where did this come from? Right? That's because you're holding on to it. If you don't release it, I never can give forgiveness. So it's putting a barrier in our situation. Jude chapter 1, verse 19.
Jude chapter 1, verse 19. These are the ones who cause divisions, not having the Spirit.
Who causes division? What, not the ones that don't have the same, I won't put that in there, same spirit. Same spirit. If you don't have the same spirit, same vision, going in the same place, you're going to bring division, because division is going to break that up, because you're not going in the same, whatever you're doing. If you saying to come over and help me work on the car, and you come over to help you see the lawnmower over there, your lawnmower still ain't working? No, oh, I can fix that. No, we came to work on the car. We didn't come to work on the lawnmower. You understand what I'm saying? So it can go in different areas. We're just not talking about spiritual things. We're talking about in every area, right? So we come to work on the car, but you need that. Well, maybe you need to take that with you right now. We need to work on the car. So in other words, we have the same. Our vision is to work on the automobile, not the lawnmower, right? But people love going to the lawnmower and leaving you working on the car by yourself. They into the lawnmower. They're not into what they come to do. So they call division. That's a dividing. Then we can't do it. You trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. You know. So you can have the same. You'll never keep a job. If your vision is different, you'll never keep that job. You'll go in and see everything wrong with this job. And you know what? It's amazing to me. I was at a job for a long time, and the ones that's new come in, they found everything wrong with their job. And I said, well, now I've been here, I'm just going to use a number, 10 years, and I ain't seen it. How did you come in and discover all of this? Right? So you bring a division. Instead of getting wit, you bring a division. No matter what the job is, if you don't have division, no matter what your little belief system is, yes, they need to, the company can't strive with you, because you come in talking about all what's wrong. It ain't going to strive with you. You know, you didn't come here to fix it. Have you ever worked with somebody they won't fix everything? You didn't come here to fix it. We was here before you got here. You don't need to fix that. Now you can have your ideas and stuff like that, but you know what I'm saying? If some people just come in, they just gonna fix it. You don't know it, but you gonna fix it. Right? All right, 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. We're 40 minutes, we're almost there. Good time.
1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 33. Do not be led astray. Evil company corrupts good habits.
What the good habits makes evil company good. So, because, y'all don't understand, I can win them over. You don't understand. I got this. I'm good. I got the spirit. I got the power. Right? No. The evil company is always going to take over. It's amazing that you can give so many words to somebody, whether they little or whatever, and then they go find the words that don't even mean anything. Where did they get that from, right? So you can never overtake it. You cannot, don't fall in this trap, I'm going to win you over. It's not going to work. That is not going to work. Evil always going to conquer that. It's going to misuse it. So you're going to have to compromise, is what I'm saying. You're going to have to compromise. So don't do it. All right?
Wake up to soberness, righteously, and do not sin. For some do not have the knowledge of Elohim. I speak this to your shame.
All right. So some of them do not even have the knowledge. They don't know what you know. So how is evil? Somebody come in, they don't know what you know, but they're going to put in some bad seed in that, right? John chapter 2, verse 24. Yahweh doesn't call you to walk closely with everyone. It's not going to happen. How many of you got and I'm not talking about Facebook, how many of you got 1,000 friends that you can call up right now? That means you can't walk with everyone. What? Oh, I'm sorry. John 2 and 24. Right? So even the Mashiach. Now watch this. See, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what they be reading. But even the Mashiach didn't trust everybody. It's amazing how they turn into a father. He just loved everybody unconditional. You know what? Unconditional love has some conditions to it. Okay, we'll put that on the shelf, but it has some condition to it now. Ask the Father. He said, if you love me, Is that unconditioned? Okay, all right. All right. All right. Because he said it because he loved you. That's the unconditional part. Not that you don't do it. No matter what you do, he still loves you. That don't work like that. Hello. Don't work like that. Okay,
John chapter 2, verse 24. But Yeshua was not entrusting himself to them.
Now, what he say? Yeshua was not what? To who? To them. To them. Oh, he didn't love everybody. He just trusted. Wait a minute. I see it. It is what it is. Right? Said he didn't trust in them, but why?
Because he knew all men.
Because he knew all men. He understood. This ain't good for me. That ain't what I need. You go silent? Okay. All right. Silence is, you don't, okay. All right. Right? He didn't trust that. He didn't do it. He said he didn't entrust himself to them. Well, I thought the Mashiach just wanted to just save the whole world. Go ye into all the world and preach the gospel. Right? So what is it? There are standards, there are boundaries in the things of the Father. You just can't put up with anything, right? Because evil will consume you. It comes in just a little bit, but it eventually it gets you, right? Hang around somebody that's not in covenant and see what happened to you, right? What is it that you value? You have to value the relationship of the Father more, right? 3 John 1 and 4. So stop expecting deep connection with those who lack spiritual alignment, right? So Yeshua only had 374 million that followed him. No, he had 12 that walked closely with him, right? 12. And this day he wouldn't have made it. I guess we have more in here than what he had, right? 12, huh?
Could you say that point again about following? I'm sorry.
About what now? Yeah, stop expecting. Stop it. Stop expecting deep connections with those who lack spiritual alignment, right? With Torah, of course, and with you, right? You know, I said we know it's about Torah, but they have to have the same connection with you also, right? So, in other words, they can say they're in Torah, maybe they new to it or whatever, but if they say, "Come on over, and I'm gonna cook up some pork chops," and they come to the assembly every day, Shabbat, and all of that, you can't align with that. Is that right? You can't align with that. So somewhere you got to get a connection that say, no, we don't eat that. And if you go to your brother, right? Okay, who wants to be example? Okay, well, he beat you, my brother. All right. So if you go to your brother, he asks you, come over, we're gonna have some pork chops. Can you come over, right? What would you? And then I said, well, why not?
Because I follow the Most High.
Okay, and so I do too. We come to assembly. We there together. We did the feast day together.
We're following them different, brother.
Okay, all right. Well, if he don't listen to you, what you gonna do?
If he doesn't listen, that I'm not coming over.
If he don't listen to you that you should not eat pork chops, what would you gonna do? He's your brother. He comes here. He's here with you. Matter of fact, y'all running together. He was over to the house.
I might show him in the word where it says not to do it.
Okay, he does not understand that. What's the next step that I should take? If I go to my brother, what's the next step I should take if he don't hear me?
We can go to leadership.
Okay, all right. That's where I'm going with it, right? So if he don't hear you, then your next step is to go to leadership. Doing that, you're going to show him all of that, right? So because you're trying to get an alignment, with that, then we have to do something about it. But most times people are trying to work it out among themselves, but you go to your brother, but it never gets to the leadership. It'll get to YouTube, it'll get to everybody else, but y'all be arguing against yourself. But I'm saying if they hear, and they are among us, and they got that, they inviting everybody over for pork chops, then we need to do something about that, right? Because we don't eat like that, right? You see what I'm saying? So that's the next step, in that. Okay, all right. So we're going to evaluate, right, our relationships through Torah, through what Yah has, right? That would be the standard. Okay, all right. Let's try that again. Huh? But we going to, no. Yeah.
3 John chapter 1 verse 4. I have no greater joy than to hear of my children walking in truth.
What is the greater joy that he had? What's the joy that he had? That they what? They was walking in the truth. They wasn't talking about it. They was walking in it. That's action. Right? That's an action that they were doing. So we are seeking fellowship, right? We are seeking fellowship with those that's walking in the truth. That's what we're doing. Right? So when you have a relationship, that's what you're doing. Trying to find a husband or wife, they need to be not walking, and then you can bring them in later. No, they need to be walking. The standard is still they need to be walking. Right? It's still the standard that we have. So you want to evaluate. This is what you want to do. Evaluate your core relationships. Right? Look at them. So sometimes we don't look at the relationship. We just have them. Right? So you evaluate those core relationships. Build with those who walk in the truth. So we're talking about if they building with you, okay, that's okay. They building with you, but they need to also be building with you and walking in the truth. And not just talking about it. Right? Not just talking about it, but walking in it. That's very, very important. Okay? Not just they understand it. Right? So build. If you're going to build with somebody, that'd be my new phase. I want to build with you, but they have to be walking in there. So I want to marry you, but they have to be walking in it. Right? So that's what you want to build in the things of the Father. So let's recap just a little bit. We know we need to walk in wisdom, right? Not wishful thinking. We have to walk in the wisdom that we see. Okay, so the things that I talked about is not about judgment today, right? I mean, it is, but it's not. You're not trying to judge them. You have to be able to stand hard in the truth, right? This is about freedom. This will set you free. Hallelujah. It set you can sleep at night. You don't have to worry about tossing and turning. I know about it. I'm talking from experience. I know. Hallelujah. So you'll be free. Guess what you'll be free from? False expectations from that person or those people, right? You expect something because you will put them on your expectation. So they'll be false because they never had it in their heart. Never had it in their heart. The people you deal with shouldn't have no doubt. No doubt. And they may not always show it in the same way, in the same manner all the time, right? In that, right? There was a time Shelley just loved on me. Now I'm trying to find her, right? But her love never stopped. It just changed as she grew. You know what I'm saying? Baby love is different from a mid-baby love to a, and so all the love is different. From teenage love is different from a, 12 under, so all of it, but it should be the same. So it is with adults. Sometimes it changes on what level that it is, right? I don't get the same love that you give your husband, right? And you or your children or whatever, it's different, but it's the same, right? It's the same in that. So just know that. So this is what we're going to stop. Toxic circles. We're going to stop it, because they ain't going to do us no good. Because you know why? It brings about emotional confusion. When it's toxic, it's just toxic. Boom. So what I'm saying as me is that I'm going to let it go. You can be toxic if you want to, but guess what? You're going to be toxic by yourself. Okay, all right. You ain't going to put me into that company. That party you're going to have is by yourself, right? And sometimes you don't know these things until the relationship develops, right? You don't know that. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Proverbs 4, okay.
Which verse?
23. Let's go to 23. I said 24. Let's go to 23.
Proverbs chapter 4, verse 23. Watch over your heart with all.
Watch over your heart. You have to do that? Moray. Your husband. Your wife. Okay, all right. Uh-huh.
With all diligence, for out of it are the sources of life.
Okay, out of your heart is the source of life. So what you see is what you get, right? So we must come to terms with these three things that we talked about. That we highlighted those three things anyway. Could be more than more, but this in the relationship, if we get victory here, you'll get freedom. Because if you don't, you have constant disappointment. There was a time that, even in this and minutes we're just going through, we'll say just separate, and you sometimes you could be in constant disappointment. It's constant, right? It also bring about some displaced loyalty as well. If you're not free. Don't forget, those speak through silence as well. They speak through that. And they will drain you emotionally. You'll be drained and you hadn't even did nothing. They'll drain you emotionally, right? Okay, just make sure we stay in alignment with things, right? We want that. So just earn the fruit, receive the peace of Yah is what we want to do, right? And remember, right? We have to remember all of those things. Take them in consideration. Remove anything that doesn't line with the things of the Father. What truly honors Him is your life, not what you say. Your life, that truly does it. That's where the value is at. So we want to make a space in our lives, in our hearts, in our mind for healthy. We want to be healthy. Yah, we want Yah to be the center of all things, the center, the connection that we need. And this is a key here. I may post this again, right? This was also set me free about all the other. You stop trying, or I'm speaking when I say you, I was writing. You stop trying to force what was never meant to be. Yeah. Hallelujah, yeah. I remember those days. That just bring me back. You trying to force something. I didn't know it then, but I'm trying to force it. But y'all, I want to show your love. No, you're trying to force something here that wasn't so. That's what you're trying to do. So, one thing I must understand. You do not need to change your standards. Don't change your standards for nobody else. Don't do that. But you do need to stop expecting others to live by your standard. That slapped me in my face because they can't do it. They are all different, And I learned this a little earlier, but it was a struggle. I'm telling you some of the struggles that I had in my own mind, especially coming from the system, a Christian system. You know, you just got to love everybody. Y'all ever, no. But you do not need to stop. You have to stop it, right? Align yourself with people who already live by what you value, right? So let that be not how tall they is, how good they look, and all that. Don't let that be the standard. Be the standard of my walk. Are you walking like me? And that's what's going to be important, right? Oh man, looks like I made 2 copies here, so I need to start all over again.